There is a long history of growing grapes in Michigan. It's more than 100 years old, but it's really focused on growing juice grapes.
In the 70s, there was a professor here at Michigan State. His name was Stan Howell. He became interested in grape physiology and the possibility of having actual wine grapes here.
And he was the one who really was doing all of the preliminary research to make it possible for Michigan to get back into the wine business. And we knew that what we needed were wine grapes and not juice grapes. And that's where Dr. Howell really came in and made a name for himself, was looking at empirical data from Europe and then establishing test vineyards all over the state to try to see what would grow.
One of the most important red vinifera varieties for us in Michigan is Pinot Noir. So a lot of research that we are doing this summer to try to reduce the number of berries set, so we get a smaller cluster but at the same time very loose. You see that there is no pressure between the berries, between each other, and there is totally no rot. Pinot Noir probably is one of the most sensitive varieties to rot that we are growing in Michigan. So solving this problem for the Michigan grower will be very important. So when I do my experiments in the vineyard, I'm always taking with me the graduate students and a lot of undergraduate students. So I'm using their help for my experiments, but at the same time they learn a lot about what it takes to produce high quality grapes in a very difficult climate like Michigan.
Dr. Sabatini was looking for a lab assistant, and since I already had research experience, I just walked right in and started working for him. But to come out here and be outside, that's pretty much the main draw. And then I got bitten by the wine bug and haven't left.
When the students are coming to my program and they have a research responsibility, but also they have responsibility to manage the vineyards. So we do everything in the vineyards. We go during the winter when it's very cold in Michigan, there is a lot of snow on the ground to prune the vines, and during the summer we are doing a lot of work to keep the vines in shape. Let's get the number first. 8.1. The harvest is the most important moment for us, in which we are taking home all the data, and we are taking home all the fruit for analysis in the lab. And for that reason, we are spending a lot of hours in the vineyard. We leave very early from campus, around 6:30 in the morning, to be ready at 9 o'clock to start work here. And in general, we work until the work is done. That means sometimes until 9 o'clock p.m. And the students that are coming, they really have a motivation. We're having a lot of fun.
The viticulture program, when I was there at Michigan State, it was a small program. We got lots of hands-on time there. I got to work in the lab in the research winery. I spent most of my time there learning and studying wine chemistry, so when I came up here I already knew what I needed to do when I got here.
See that they're slowly dropping each one.
Most people only got to see the final product on, where I got to see the inner workings of how the research happened and stuff that failed more than the stuff that worked. That's where you learn a lot.
We needed people who were trained in this climate, and that's what that program did. It provided a large number of people who immediately went to work.
I'm trying to build a program that can help the Michigan grape growers to build better quality of the grapes, better sustainable enterprises.
I think that the industry is very bright for Michigan.
We have seen quite a bit of growth in the wine industry in the past 5 or 6 years.
In 2007, there were a little bit more than 50 wineries in Michigan. Right now there are more than 80, so we had an increase of 35–40%.
We're growing organically, and I don't think there's a winery that is not experiencing very good growth every year.
That brings in more money to our state and brings more people into our state.
This sleeping giant that is just starting to grow, I think.